What if Hermione became the Minister of Magic? After the Battle of Hogwarts, Hermione Granger found herself at a crossroads. With Voldemort defeated and the wizarding world in disarray, she realized her work was far from over. Unlike Harry and Ron, who leaned toward quieter lives, Hermione couldn't ignore the glaring issues within magical society: discrimination against non-human creatures, outdated policies, and corruption within the Ministry of Magic. During a conversation with Kingsley Shacklebolt, the interim minister, Hermione voiced her frustrations. The war may be over, but the battle for equality has just begun. House elves, goblins, muggle-borns, they all deserve better. Kingsley smiled, impressed by her conviction. Then perhaps, Hermione, it's time for you to lead the change. Hermione's path to the ministry wasn't easy. She started as an intern in the Department for the Regulation and Control of Magical Creatures, fighting tirelessly for House Elf rights through SPEW. Her efforts caught the attention of reformists and skeptics alike. Many scoffed at the idea of a young, idealistic muggle-born making waves in such a rigid institution. But Hermione was undeterred. By the time she became head of the Department of Magical Law Enforcement, her influence was undeniable. Her reforms, including a groundbreaking anti-discrimination act, had transformed how magical creatures and muggle-borns were treated. Her ability to unite people, even those who initially opposed her, set her apart. But with great power came greater challenges. Not everyone supported Hermione's vision. Pure-blood traditionalists, led by former Death Eater sympathizers, launched smear campaigns. They accused her of dismantling wizarding traditions and pandering to muggles. During one heated Wizengamot session, a prominent critic sneered, "What would a muggle-born know about preserving our heritage?" Hermione's reply was swift and resolute. Preservation does not mean exclusion. The strength of our world lies in its diversity, not in clinging to outdated prejudices. Her words earned a standing ovation from progressives, but deepened the divide with her opponents. When Kingsley announced his retirement, the question of his successor dominated the headlines. Hermione's candidacy was met with both enthusiasm and skepticism. Her campaign, centered on unity and reform, resonated with younger wizards and witches, but alienated some traditionalist factions. Harry and Ron stood firmly by her side. During a public rally, Harry addressed the crowd. "Hermione has always fought for what's right, even when it wasn't easy. If anyone can lead us to a brighter future, it's her." The campaign trail was grueling. Hermione faced everything from sabotage attempts to personal attacks, questioning her loyalty to the wizarding community. Yet, her unwavering determination and eloquence won over even some of her harshest critics. On election day, the results were clear. Hermione Jean Granger was the new Minister of Magic. As minister, Hermione wasted no time implementing sweeping changes. She restructured the Wizengamot to ensure fair representation for magical creatures and muggle-borns. She spearheaded an educational reform at Hogwarts, introducing Muggle studies as a core subject and ensuring the history curriculum included all perspectives, not just those of purebloods. One of her most controversial decisions was the introduction of a magical alliance with Muggle governments. "The Statute of Secrecy has its place," she explained in a press conference, "but mutual understanding and cooperation will strengthen both our worlds." Under her leadership, the ministry saw unprecedented unity and progress. House elves received fair wages, goblins gained greater autonomy, and inter-house rivalries at Hogwarts diminished significantly. Though challenges persisted, Hermione's vision continued to inspire generations. Years later, as she prepared to step down, Hermione reflected on her journey. During her farewell speech, she said, "The future is not built on the efforts of one person, but on the collective will of those who dare to dream of a better world. Together, we have proven that change is not only possible, but necessary. Hermione's tenure as Minister of Magic became a defining chapter in the wizarding world's history. Her legacy wasn't just in the laws she passed, but in the hope she instilled. She had shown that even the most unlikely individuals could rise to greatness, and in doing so, reshape the world for the better.